It's like driving a car, right? You don't expect to get hit by a bus, but it's something so simple, right? So no, no one thinks about that sort of stuff, right? You know, they don't tell you that it'll kill you within 2 hours or 3 hours or something, you know. They don't say that. Yeah. It took about a week after being out of the coma to just sort of realise that, yep, I've lost my legs, and yeah, to be fully awake, so.
Haden Taylor woke from a coma in hospital in February after contracting meningococcal septicemia. He woke without the tips of some fingers, and he woke without his legs. At 21, Haden had just finished Army Territorial training and was studying engineering at Canterbury University. Now he's learning to do things without his legs and wants people to know how simple the diseases called meningitis and meningococcal septicemia are to catch.
I remember going to a party one night, and being a party you don't remember too much else on the other side, but apparently, yeah, a friend told me that I had a drink because people were making cocktails, that everyone sort of, oh, you try this, try that, you know, so everyone was having a bit of a taste, and that, I presume that's where it was from.
Haden was in a coma for 2 weeks. It left his family with a dilemma. They had to make life-changing decisions for him. They decided to record that time so their son might understand. These are excerpts from the video they made.
Parts of his fingers here have lost circulation. You can see here this one's pretty bad. Circulation will be lost here, although he is trying to bend his fingers at this point. This little finger here, it's very bad. This is the colour. This is the colour of his legs, all the way down here, down his legs. And that's why in the operation today they'll be amputating both legs just below the knee.
6 months on, the memories of that time are still vivid.
Haden had suffered multi-organ failure, was on total life support, and for all intents and purposes, he wasn't in very good shape.
While Haden was fighting for his life, his parents were fighting against time. Both school teachers, they teach and live in Korea. An answering machine message greeted them on February the 20th.
The doctors had told us in Seoul and in Auckland that they weren't sure that they were going to be able to save him. Had given him 12 to 24 hours and had suggested that we get down pretty quickly.
It was so severe that his blood pressure dropped very low, and then he developed the clotting disorders in his limbs and in his body, and he got gangrene in his legs because the blood pressure was too low to perfuse the peripheral parts of his body adequately.
Dr. Stephen Chambers is head of Christchurch Hospital's Infectious Diseases Department.
And that's an absolutely frightening thing. I mean, someone can be apparently healthy one day and 24 hours later be at death's door.
As far as vivid memories, like, that was the sort of time when you still have like bandages and stuff on your arms, and they have to still redo them, and you get to see things like your muscle tissue and stuff because your skin explodes.
One of the side effects of the disease still all too apparent. Staff at emergency centres like this at Christchurch Hospital know all too well New Zealand is in the middle of a meningitis epidemic. The doctors are successfully reducing the mortality rate, but for all that, surviving the disease is no easy road.
You don't really want to, I suppose, live as much, you know, like, because one of my joys is riding a motorbike, and I immediately thought about that, and being in the army, I immediately thought about that, and thought, well, shit, if I can't do this, something that I really like to do, you know, it's almost useless to, you know, stay alive, really, I suppose.
Both Valma and I broke the news to him that he'd been very ill, and that we were looking at amputation of both legs. And we weren't really sure how much was sinking in at that point. And his first words to us were, well, shit happens to those who can handle it.
6 months later and Haden's still showing that get-on-with-it attitude, the big goal getting back on his feet. He says walking's been the hardest thing emotionally and physically. Now he's set himself a date for the day he'll walk again with ease.
It will be by Christmas time, like it can't be any later than then, so if it is, then I'm going to be a little angry at myself, but it shouldn't take much longer than that. Like, it'll give me about 4 months, I think, once I've healed up.
Yes, he's had his share of stumbles, quite literally. Falling out of his chair means a big setback, but walking's not the only goal, nor the one dearest to his heart. That place of honour goes to getting back on his Triumph 750 Bonneville.
Like just recently, I've put this leg on to see about sitting on a motorbike, and it's going to need chopping back, maybe an inch or so from the top.
But the motorbike is a hard sell at Burwood, where staff see different priorities for this determined outpatient.
Our primary objective in building you this prosthesis is to get you up and walking.
He's had the bike all adapted so that he can ride it.
Electric start.
But that would mean that I was a motorbike. No, I wouldn't do that just to get...
Somehow you get the feeling that Haden Taylor will get back on that motorbike and back on top of a life that was turned horribly upside down, all because he shared a drink with a mate.
You don't think about it, right? It's everyone does it and no one cares, so it's just like a good friend of yours, they're not going to be, they're not going to kill you.